welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom. Alright, book review time. I'm not actually going to hold up the book because this is on multiple books. Alright, classics. Now, I have been too busy the past 2 weeks to really get into any good books, new books. I just don't have the time, I don't have the focus to do it. Just too much stuff going on, which is very common for a lot of us adults. Being an adult sucks. But there are a lot of books out there that are considered classics. Sherlock Holmes books, Dracula, Frankenstein, all these books. And since I am a big reader, I love everything from science fiction, paranormal, historical, contemporary, the whole thing. I love reading books that are considered classics because when I had to read them in high school, it was hard to get into them. The language was different, the ideas were different. I wasn't a reader back then. It just was hard. It was kind of like pulling teeth. And I think a lot of us have that feeling because when you have to do a book, you just don't want to. When you're choosing the book, it's a whole different story. But when I go back through and reread it, like getting into the Sherlock Holmes ones, I get such a kick out of it because even though I love reading historical, the historical romances that I read now are written by somebody in my own time frame. They have the same mentality that I do. The classics that I am reading were written as contemporaries, which means they are living in that time frame. They are having the Moors. That is their standard. And it's so amazing because it really kind of throws you. But here's another thing you're not thinking about, guys. The stuff you read when you were a teenager is going to have a completely different impact on you as an adult. Because your life experiences are going to change your perspective. Some of the Shakespeare plays that I had to read for high school take on a completely different look as an adult and a mom. Like what I read of Romeo and Juliet or Midsummer Night's Dream. Very unique as a teenager. I thought it was very romantic or very sappy or whatever. As a young adult or a young, in my 20s, I thought, oh yeah, no, I guess. But they could have thought this out a little better. And now as a mom, it's like, I look back, it's like, if I had been Juliet's mom, I would have slapped the crap out of her. Romeo, I would have twisted his ear. And you look back and it's like, really? Really? And again, it changes your perspective depending on your age, your life experiences, all that. What you're going on in your life really is going to change your perspective of how you pick up that book. Your little nuances that you missed as you were younger, you're going to pick up. And I'm a person who, right now, I'm just rereading series that I've read, at least a couple times, just because it's something friendly, and I don't feel comfortable unless I have a book with me, because I'm pathetic. But the thing is that whenever you reread a book, guys, you're going to pick up something that you might have just skimmed over, one word that changes the sentence structure. It's just human nature, or something that you forgot because you looked at the whole story. And as with these classics, you're going to take a different look at, oh my goodness, now that I'm older, I can kind of see what the author was saying. Or now that I've had some experience as being the person who has the job or having the responsibility, I can see what the character was, struggling with. And it's really amazing when you go back through these books that your teachers were all like, oh, no, you got to read this, this is really going to impact you. And you don't see it as a teenager. It's like, holy crap, it really does have an impact. And I just think it's really cool, especially with things like Sherlock Holmes, to look back and read that. Jane Austen books, I'm actually not a big fan of. I just can't seem to get into them. I don't know why that is. I'll have to give them another try now that I'm older. But with Sherlock Holmes books, I love that time frame. I love Sir Arthur Conan Doyle because he pretty much wrote on the principle, you take away everything that is impossible, and no matter what is improbable, that is the answer. He's used so much logic, and it's so cool because we have so much illogical stuff going on in our society right now and in people's mindsets that I love reading his stuff because it's like, oh, please tell me how it's elementary, dear Watson. And it's just, I love it. I love reading some of the horror fit novels of how Dracula and Frankenstein were considered super, super spooky, super scary. And they're still considered, occult classics today. We remake movies in it. We give it different twists and turns. It's still, we're still using the baselines of these stories for our entertainment. But to read the actual book, guys, especially if you're a big movie fan of these, any type of thing that has based on Dracula, werewolves, vampires, anything, you read the originals of some of these books, and it's going to blow your mind because even though it's written not as gory as it is today, it's going to really send you on your edge and it's going to put you on your seat and it's going to be like, holy crap, no wonder it's still a classic. And it really is. This is one of those things that as you get older and you reread these books, it's like, holy crap. So again, if you guys get a chance, please go out there and read it. One of the really cool things about these classic books is that, one, you can always get them from your libraries. They're always going to have them in stock because not a lot of people are going to read them. Two, you go to any used bookstore, there's going to have at least one of these. And they are usually rewritten, like The Tale of Oliver Twist, all that. They're going to have them in kids' versions. They're going to have them in young adult versions. They're going to have them available, all sorts of that, in used bookstores. But if you go to a regular bookstore, they're going to have those available in these really nice special, like gold embossed, on the pages, nice covers. You can get them in the small ones, you can get them in the big ones, like these big tomes that look really cool on your bookshelves. So you can just, all sorts of cool things. And if you do go that route, guys, also check out some of the old folklore and such, because I got some really cool stories. I swear to goodness, it'll keep you on your edge. But again, check out the classics, whether it is something that's really well known and been used for entertainment today, which is always great to kind of see this story that inspired the movies, because the story will really kind of blow your mind because Hollywood's taken a lot of license to what was the original. And just get out there. Please give these classics a read, because no matter how draining it was to read these in high school or whenever in college or whatever, it is going to really, it's going to grip you. And if you can get into the language, because that's going to be half the hang up, guys, is reading the language of written in a time way before us. If you can get into the language flow of it, you're just going to get sucked into these stories. And if you guys do have a favorite classic, please let me know what it is, because like I said, I really enjoy the Sherlock Holmes ones, and there's a couple other ones, but I can't think of them right now because my brain's a little kerbrobbled. But if you have a favorite classic, please let me know, because like my son, his is like the Odyssey. My daughter is just all over the place, but I'd like to hear from you guys about your favorite classic is. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Hopefully I'll have a new story with a new author coming up soon. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube. And give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.